Hey, what up? This is Aaron Sands, and this is King Talk. Let's get smarter. The following songs being played on this podcast, we do not own the rights to.
Hold up and analyze. Come on, get some. Listen close as I prove my point. We do our thing, son. Hold up and analyze. Come on, get some. Listen close as I prove my point. Ready to make an entrance, so crack on up.
No comparison, we more solid than they are. Me and Hit Boy, they say we like the new Gangstar. Me and Flacco, they say we the new wave guards. Shout to Max B, he could be home any day, God.
Wake up out the bed, scruffy sparking my J. Shine my nickel plated, then I'm starting my day. My old lady called me baby, told apart in my age. 12 shells in the gauge, like a carton of eggs. We on home like Eric Cartman, chromosomes on my conscience. Here's some niggas talking nonsense, call them nasty Nostradamus. Rock the pearls and diamonds, break the promise, break a wildest, break a heart and break a pocket. Taking notes like guidance counselors. The crack is like a chancellor, the answer to the panhandlers. The corners with the mans is up, the jig is up, the scams is up. Yeah, they hands is up, looking in the crowd, yeah. Trying to fuck the world, but my pants still uninvested to all my G's before we rest in peace. Before we rest in peace. The rest is set, the record set as soon as I release. The room, the streets, I roam the streets with no security. They know a nigga overseas. Kinda swag that's passed from your mom and dad. Prada bags, and we cheesing on them Calvin ads. Mighty peep the billboards 50 feet when out in traffic. Staring at a nigga picture, shit, you bound to crash.
No comparison, we more solid than they are. Me and Hit Boy, they say we like the new Gangstar. Me and Flacco, they say we the new wave guards. Shout to Max B, he could be home any day, God.
Hold up and analyze.
ASAP Mob got mass appeal.
Come on, get some.
Call them nasty niggas hit the lick like.
Wake up out the bed, wrap my do-rag up. Say a prayer, I'm thanking God that Mom Dukes had us. Monotone style like Guru on Supremo cuts. Crew-neck by McQueen go nuts. Jewels over my white hoodie like Juvie and 9-8. It's movies that I make, Peruvian white flake. It taught the community at a high rate. Adversity I face, I roll my own gas to make sure that it's not laced. Damn, I used to hit the block hoping they see me. Watching video music box, sitting close to the TV. I was inspired by Houdini and Cool G. Got my first pair of J's, thought I was 2-3. Invest in all my G's before we rest in peace, cause we short of recipes. My shorty is a piece of mine, a dime piece. I might buy you a piece of property. You might have had some joints, but ain't nothing like me and Rocky seen. No comparison, we more solid than they are. Me and Hit Boy, they say we like the new Gangstar. Me and Flacco, they say we the new wave guards. Shout to Max B, he could be home any day, God.
Come on, get some.
ASAP Mob got mass appeal.
We do our thing, listen close as I prove my point.
Tell hit, we gotta hit, hey, hey. Tell hit, we gotta hit, call them nasty niggas hit the lick like.
King Talk, yeah, that's me. What up, it's your man's Aaron Sands, and we are back again with another one. You already know what it is. If it's Fridays, then it's King Talk. And here we are, y'all. 1 year anniversary special. You already know what it is. Been doing this thing for a whole calendar year since February 2021. In that time, we gave you 2 solid seasons of King Talk. And on this episode, we just gonna reflect. We're gonna reflect on everything that went down between last year and now when it relates to King Talk, things that we're gonna do a little bit differently, and some updates regarding season 3. You know what I'm saying? So sit back, relax, put one in the air, put a drink up in the air, because we are celebrating the 1 year anniversary of King Talk. In the meantime, relax. Check out this next song, and we're gonna come back. When we come back, we're gonna have a conversation. So stay tuned. It's King Talk.
money hungry bitches all up in my face. Trying to play the role, yo, I put them in their place. Schemes and dreams to get the dollars from. Them niggas acting dumb, always getting done. While she bringing money to my man Quas, she all up on the tip thinking that we stars. Open up the legs cause the jewels and cars. Leaving mental scars on some, she left bars on suckers' hearts cause she knows the game plan. Have your ass looking like the Rain Man. It's up and down like a nigga hitting switches. Yo, y'all gotta watch out for the money hungry bitches. It's up and down like a nigga hitting switches. Money hungry bitches all up in my face. Money hungry bitches all up in my face. Trying to play the role, yo, I put them in their place. Trying to play the role, yo, I put them in their place. Schemes and dreams to get the dollars from. Schemes and dreams to get the dollars from. Them niggas acting dumb, always getting done. Them niggas acting dumb, always getting done. It's up and down like a nigga hitting switches. It's up and down like a nigga hitting switches. Yo, y'all gotta watch out for the money hungry bitches. Yeah. How we do? Yo, y'all gotta watch out. For the money hungry bitches. 1, 2, 1, 2. Just remember.
Well, here we are, y'all. 1 year anniversary, King Talk, and Aaron Sands. There's a lot of things I got to look at, when doing this show and running, doing the podcast and everything like that. I look back on everything that I've done within this year, not just professionally, but also personally as well. And I started this with the intention, of just trying to, get my voice out there and seeing how it would operate under these type of standards when doing podcasts, First and foremost, I'm a shit talker originally, You see me with my guys, you see me with my fiance and everything like that. And one of the biggest things that, I do, and one of the biggest things that I'm known for, simply besides dressing well, besides dressing well, is talking shit, about different topics, not just about like people or whatever, but also about different topics too. And it really started when I was on Premiere Boys, like the first, really the first season, early second season of Premiere Boys. And when it came down to that, I was like, okay, this is kind of a situation where it's like, all right, I'm just on the phone. I didn't look at it as a podcast. I just looked at it as I was on the phone with 3 of my bros, and we sitting there talking shit about certain issues. You know what I'm saying? Whether it was, what made it different is we wasn't talking about our own issues. We were talking about like issues going on out in the world, and we would have those conversations in private. And we was like, yo, what if we needed to put that on tape? And that's how we came up with Premiere Boys. And honestly, Premiere Boys, I feel like it's like a refined version of Blaze Up TV. If you've been following us for a long, long time, you also remember that we did a YouTube series called Blaze Up TV, where we would just be, simply going around the city doing stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? Talking shit about other people, and just living life, young teenage, early 20 dudes in the city, just, living our life, you know what I'm saying? So to see that grow into Premiere Boys, and then Premiere Boys growing into like a King Talk situation for myself, I looked at that and I was like, all right, this is something that I could do, but I never really have these type of conversations with people outside of us, because my group understands me, but I was kind of questioning the fact if you guys will understand me. And from the way this has been, played out 2 seasons later, a whole year later, you guys do. And I owe you everything for that, There's been episodes where I got a little personal and I had to get my stuff off. And I had to get my stuff off and let you guys a little bit into the life, into my life, into what I see, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes, we could agree to disagree, and that's just fine, but at the end of the day, one of the biggest goals that I have for this podcast is just to increase the conversation. I wasn't big on making music countdowns or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Although that is kind of lit. I'm a big fan of the music countdowns. You know what I'm saying? I'm a product of the 80s and, a student of the 90s. And all we had was music countdowns. I ain't knocking that. But one of my biggest, speaking points is just engaging conversation with people who, whether they agree or disagree with you, you at least get to hear them out. And in some cases, I felt like I was able to do that here with King Talk. Have I been able to do it as much as I would like? No. And that one's on me. You know what I'm saying? As I said before in past episodes, sometimes you got to be able to look into yourself in order to, learn what you need to do better about yourself. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, this episode right here not only isn't only a situation to celebrate, because a lot of podcasts, they'll get past 5 or 6 episodes and they quit, which at one point that's where I was. You know what I'm saying? But also one of the purposes of podcasts is for people to kind of get their stuff off, get their shit off, and in the doing of getting your shit off, you're letting people you're giving people invitation into what you see and to your experiences, which I always feel like is a pretty dope thing. I know how hard it is for people to open up, especially nowadays. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's judgy. Everybody has an opinion, and a lot of times hate comes from places where it seems friendly. It looks friendly, but in all actuality is anything but. And one of my biggest goals with this podcast is to create a safe space for people to come in and be like, hey, I agree with you on this topic, here's why, or I disagree with you on this topic and here's why. And in our agreeances and disagreeances, we have that conversation. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's something that's been really lacking, not only in the podcast, not only in not in podcast community, because it's been thriving like that, not only in our community, but just for me personally. You know what I'm saying? Because it's hard for me before this whole situation, it was really hard for me to really open up to people outside of my circle. You know what I'm saying? A lot of that comes down to trust. So, growing up, especially in the city, you can't just go around and trusting everybody. And in life, you shouldn't anyway. But, that point was brought home even further coming from where I'm from. You know what I'm saying? So, having said that, it led me to be like, all right, I trust my bros, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? Nowadays, it's like, all right, I trust my bros, I trust my fiance, I trust, always trust your family. I never include them in that part because that's a given. But you trust your bros and you trust, your fiance. You open up to other people, not trust them, but you open up. You give a little bit more leeway than you normally would, in hopes that you reach out to more people. In order for you to reach out to more people, especially during this podcast situation, and I'll give this advice to anybody whoever wanted to start a podcast, sometimes you got to open yourself up a little. You can't be like I've never seen anybody be an introverted podcaster. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody that keeps to themselves and then just, and then puts out content on a consistent basis. So when I seen that, if I see that, it's like a little weird. But I don't. For me personally, I don't think that really exists too hard. You know. Having said all of this, it leads me to wonder, like, all right, what can I bring out for season 3? You know what I'm saying? We've done a lot here. You know, we've hit, high numbers on the first season. This season, I felt like we've made more of a conversation into certain issues. You know, we had more deeper conversations in this season, and it's not over yet. Honestly, far from over. But at a certain time, I have to look at myself and be like, all right, how can I be able to make this better? And fun fact, not to, it's not really much. This is a fun fact, but it's also a side note. The beef that I had with a certain R&B singer, low key, made me think about that. You know what I'm saying? Whenever I'm in beefs, right? Especially before podcasting, I always try to figure out, all right, how can I be better than the people that I'm beefing with? You know what I'm saying? Because when you're in beef, me personally, I always feel like when it comes down to beef, it comes down to whoever gives a fuck less. If you give a fuck less than your competition, there's a good chance that you'll win. You know what I'm saying? Having said that, I feel like not only me, but my team, we handled it gracefully, but we let people know, we let people know what it is. Like, we're not just a team of people just doing this just to do it. Like, we're here, we're real, shit is happening. Get used to it. You know what I'm saying? And in a sense, I feel like that's where I'm at right now. Well, I'm lying. I'm not at that point right yet now. I feel a lot of people may feel like I am. And I appreciate the love. But me personally, I always feel like there's another level. There's something bigger. There's something better. There's a way that I could convey these messages in a bigger, better way. Ooh. I drink some water. I'm parched. So, what does that mean for season 3? It means a lot of things. And I had this conversation with my executive producer, Ken. I kind of want to. What the fuck?
Yo, what's up, bro? Yo, my bad to cut into your production, but I just want to say happy 1 year anniversary to you, bro. You are killing it right now. And I didn't want to say that, man. You do your thing, bro. My bad. Back to the show.
All right, so no, what the hell? Like, nah, you can't just come. Like, first of all, thanks for the shout out. It's definitely appreciated. You've been riding with me about this for day one. Let me give a quick side note story. This man right here was the reason that King Talk was supposed to be King Talk. I was going to call this shit Real Shit by Aaron Sands. You know what I'm saying? Initially. And I'm like, nah, because people come up with like great names for their podcasts and everything like that. You got like 11,000 podcasts out here, whether it's on Anchor, Spotify, whatever. And I could have like sat there and called it anything. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't really think about doing podcasts like that. And then Ken comes to me, talks about, hey, bro, you should do a podcast, son. You should really do a podcast. You'd be lit. And I'm like, nobody trying to hear me. The hell? You know what I'm saying? Nobody trying to hear me like that. But at the same time, I thought about it and I'm like, well, what would I be able to talk about? One of my biggest things was, what would I be able to say to people? Looking at everything that was going on and everything, he talking about we could build news topics and, teach people stuff, because I felt like he felt like I would teach people stuff regularly. And I didn't feel like that, but I always was big on the love and everything like that. So that was cool. So we did the first episode, and we did the first episode, give or take a couple of days to this date. You know what I'm saying? And Roddy was the first guest on this show, on the first episode of this show. So when I did it, I was nervous as hell. I think that episode had more takes than any other episode I've ever done. And rightfully so, because, this is a new situation. I'm venturing into territory that I didn't even think I would do, And as time went on, from the Roddy episode to the Bay episode to me talking shit, you know what I'm saying? To the levels of toxicity series, people been, not only watching this, but also talking about it, you know what I'm saying? So conversations are being had outside of this. And honestly, for me, I'm grateful for all of that, because I feel like at some point somebody has to be the one to start the conversation to build, change. You know what I'm saying? And if I'm able to take part into that bigger movement, then, I'm grateful for it. And I'm grateful for Ken for giving out that opportunity. You know what I'm saying? So big up to you, bro. Appreciate you for, giving me the opportunity to get my voice out there, and we're going to keep rocking. We're going to keep doing it, Hopefully it's going to be lit. I still think your take on the whole music Anthony Hamilton shit is kind of off, but whatever. I'll let that go. You know what I'm saying? So, back to the question that we had originally at hand. What is up for season 3? Well, I think I'm in a safe space to tell you this now. A few things. First of all, if you stuck this far along, in this episode, do me a favor. Pause this real quick. Like the goddamn episode. Like this podcast on GitPods, Spotify, and all your streaming platforms. That way you could keep continuing to get more information, more episodes of King Talk with Aaron Sands. So yeah, stop what you're doing. Pause the vid. Like this episode. Like the podcast. Let's get us to number 1. We're a top 10 podcast on GitPods right now. Let's get it to number 1. You know what I'm saying? All right. As far as season 3, I'm going to be honest with y'all. I don't have a determined date for season 3 as of yet. I don't. And there's a lot that goes into that. Me mentally being ready, mentally in a good space for me to do a full season of King Talk. Doing season 2 was kind of tough because of scheduling and everything. My own personal stuff that I've been working on, sound quality, things like that. A lot of the things that's been going on and within myself that made it harder this season to put stuff out than last season. So I do have goals in mind. Number 1, at my space, at my place, building a new studio. That way I could get more fluid content out to you guys on a regular basis. I said I was doing this weekly, and I'm going to mean it. Every week from season 3, from when I start season 3, going forward, it'll be weekly episodes. A lot more content. Also, Aaron Reacts. I've been hearing a lot of stuff about Aaron Reacts being a thing, and honestly, I'm looking at that as a big move. That's definitely going to be a big situation going into season 3. Stick around for more info on that. Yeah. Me personally, I have to just take some time to get myself, in the right mental space to really build, a quality podcast. Because at the end of the day, that's what you guys deserve. If you've been riding with me since season 1, since last year, this is the thing that y'all deserve. A quality podcast by a quality podcaster like myself. So yeah. So as for that, with that being said, this episode right here will be the season finale of King Talk. Yep. This will be the season finale of King Talk. We're going to end season 2 right here. As for the Valentine's Day special, that I said that on Premier Boys podcast, that's still going to be a thing. It is now going to be a special. I got the Bay coming back. Bay is returning for the Valentine's Day special for King Talk. You already know what the vibes is. We're definitely dropping that on Valentine's Day Monday. So check that out. Check us out for that. It's gonna be a real different episode than what I normally do. We're gonna definitely talk about a lot of different topics. And honestly, to tell you the truth, I'm really looking forward to having Bay interview me and have her answer and me answering her questions and my responses to those answers. You know what I'm saying? I told her, like, listen, let's make this hot, you know. I'm giving you full reign of the interview. You can ask me whatever you want. No holds barred. You know what I'm saying? So definitely check that out. Monday, February 14th, Valentine's Day. After you sit there and get your date night on or whatever, y'all head back to the crib. Check out King Talk with Aaron Sands. Because, you know, that Valentine's Day special episode is definitely gonna be fire. Also, between Valentine's Day episode and season 3, I will be dropping specials. Brand new specials. It's definitely anything from my wrestling predictions for Backlash. If you see me on Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast, you know I do the wrestling predictions for the big 4 events for WWE. We already know you got Royal Rumble, Survivor Series, WrestleMania, and SummerSlam. But one of my favorite ones, Backlash, I'm going to do a King Talk special episode for that one. And I definitely might have Ken, the gentleman, on this one too. We'll see, depending on how you feel about this next versus. But hey, you know, we'll see where that goes. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing. But that's where we are. You know, I do thank you guys, and I appreciate you guys for listening and taking the time to, you know, to just hear me out. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants to be heard, you know, but people aren't always willing to listen. And honestly, I thank you guys for listening. So yeah, I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. And yeah, we'll be right back. Hey, what up? It's your boy Aaron Sands, and I know you're enjoying this episode of King Talk right now, but I want to dive in a little bit and talk about the Premier Boys podcast. You got me, Aaron Sands, Ken the Gentleman, the homie Roddy Rod, and long live the Chief Mally Mal, all in the building, talking about the hottest entertainment topics, the hottest news topics, and giving our own take on what's going on out here in these streets. It can get raunchy. It could get crazy. You might even be talking about somebody's mama. Who knows? But every Wednesday at midnight, check us out on Apple, Good Pods. Don't forget to drop that 5-star rating and all wherever else you hear your podcast. Now back to the show, man. I just want to take the time to thank everybody who dropped off happy anniversary voice note, you know, to the podcast. I definitely appreciate everybody who did that. It's definitely a big thing to me. The fact that I get to reach out to people and be like, hey, you know, this is where I'm at with certain things. What do you think? And, you know, engage in an exciting conversation that I feel like we need to have as a community. So I think everybody who dropped the voice note off or dropped a congratulations post off to me regarding that, I highly appreciate it. You guys have no idea. You already know what it is. Questions, comments, concerns. You already know where to hit me. That's Aaron Sands Premier on IG. That's AARON SANDSPREMIERE. Listen, you already know the next episode. We got the Valentine's Day episode with my beautiful bae. It's going to be on Monday, February 14th, Valentine's Day, live on all streaming platforms, including Spotify. Some people can't even get their podcasts on Spotify, but your boy King Talk Sands can. So you already know. You know, we definitely going to be out there doing our thing on that. Also, if you're in the New York City area and you trying to turn up with your girls, fellas, you trying to turn up with your bros, hit me up. We doing Taj Saturday party. Taj Best Saturday party, 48th West 21st Street, between 5th and 6th Avenues. Say premiere at the door. Table reservations only. And you need a vaccine to get up in that building. If you ain't got no vaccine, you're just gonna have to sit this one out until you get shotted up. I don't make the rules. I just work here. You know what I'm saying? So that's something you guys definitely gotta do if you're considering pulling up to Taj. So check that out. It'll be a lit night. Definitely be worth the price of admission. Believe me. Yeah. No new episodes besides the Valentine's Day situation. I got kicking up with the Bay. But outside of that, catch you on Premier Boys Podcast with the bros. Roddy Rod. Long live the Chief Molly Mao. And of course, the bro Ken. You know what I'm saying? You already know where it is. Yeah, man. I thank everybody for listening. It's been a wonderful year. We're going to rock out in a year or two with seasons 3 and seasons 4 coming this year. I cannot wait to get back with you guys on season 3. But in the meantime, keep an eye out for all of my specials coming up leading up to the season premiere of season 3. The date for that, I don't have yet because I do want to get things prepared. But when I do, check out Aaron Sands Premiere on IG for more information when it comes down to that, because I will be dropping the date on that platform. So stay tuned. But until then, it's been a hell of a year and a hell of a season. But it's your man, Aaron Sands, signing off for season 2 of King Talk. Thanks for listening. Be good to your people. Love yours. And remember, if it's Fridays, it's King Talk. Check out my last song. Thanks again. Peace. The following songs being played on this podcast, we do not own the rights to.
To find something that's meant for you, yeah. Well, risk is something you have to face.
looking for inspiration, but could not find not one smile. Everyone I'm facing. Now if your time could help someone, stop them from going under, would you still